the recording because you can anytime just download it from Twitch. I mean, not anytime because once you go live and you
Yeah.
don't have premium, I think you do, yeah.
No.
Then it won't have you have 14 or 15 days until the stream is deleted.
All right.
So you have 2 weeks to download it and upload it to YouTube as a backup.
I'll do that. I'll do that. So yeah, welcome everybody. This is the first episode of Click of Stone's Meet series. We come up with this format basically over the last couple of weeks. And our first guest today is Zoltán. László, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but we agreed I just call you Zoli. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And actually, you pronounced it pretty well.
Right.
I would like to also greet every viewer we have so far, and even those who will join later.
Nice. I'm a total newbie on streaming, podcasting, anything. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. That's the basic disclaimer. I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just happy to be here. This is a great opportunity to speak for many individuals, interview, have a conversation, and share the thoughts of some of the biggest players in Renju and in Gomoku, best players, influential people around these games, and just have a sneak peek on what they are all about, where they come from, what they have done, how they approach the games, what they see for the future, and maybe, just maybe, I'm lucky enough to learn a little bit of the game as well. So, a second disclaimer, I'm not a good player myself. I started playing Renju back in 2003. I played a little bit of Gomoku, well, thousands of games online back in the day, 1 year before that. So basically 2002, played a year of Gomoku, then started playing Renju. Was active player until 2008, 2009, then moved abroad for a long time, and now I'm just a fan of the games and happen to know some of the best players in the world for both of the games. And had a discussion with a few very good players, Zoli included, a couple weeks ago, and had an idea, okay, this YouTubing, this streaming thing, this podcasting thing is getting outrageously popular. Everybody is doing something, and I didn't see anything for these games. So I didn't see a very, very nice YouTube streaming. I know that yourself, you have done some commenting on different tournaments, and I watched some of those comments and streams, and I find them very entertaining. And I wanted to see how you feel about making this popularizing thing for the games with these streaming platforms. And you said, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a first episode, and let's have a chat, and let's see where it takes. Is that pretty much summing out what brought us here today?
Yeah, actually, regarding my streaming career, I think maybe it was in June, July, maybe earlier. I can't recall.
Yeah.
That I had this kind of idea that, why wouldn't I stream games and like not just my own gameplay, but I could also comment others playing, and maybe that way it could reach out more people.
Yeah.
And maybe more people will understand why the players put those moves and all that. So like I was basically mostly streaming 1-minute games, like about the Team Gomoku World Blitz Cup,
Yeah.
which was organized last year.
Those are super quick. For my 2 dan level, 3 dan level, hardly could keep up. What is happening?
With the time of 1 minute. So
yeah.
I can tell more later about that tournament
Yep.
in specific, but about the streams, like I just streamed like whole matches. In the first couple of matches, I just chose the best one, like which I expected to be the best one, and commented that. And then later on, I changed it and like kept hopping on from game to game. It's very hard because there is a huge chance that you will miss something if you jump from table to table.
Yeah.
But at least more people were shown,
Yeah.
and you know,
I
if I
like
made
those.
the points, they didn't have to watch a 13-0 game.
Yeah.
They had chance to watch a variety of game styles and all that.
Yeah. I
And
think
I had some other problems like commenting even live tournaments, but then the coronavirus thing happened, so I wanted to, and I was ready to stream the Czech Open, but it was cancelled due to the pandemic. So, and ever since there were no live tournaments, and God knows when there will be another one.
Yeah.
Like the virus situation is still happening, so that's a pretty hard question to answer.
Yeah. These 1 minute games, they're just super fast. They're super fast, and I guess when you're used to it, the pace, then you can keep up with. And they're exciting to watch as well, but they can be a little bit overwhelming for a boomer like myself. I guess it's nicer way to start than having a 4-hour or 5-hour game on the board where nothing happens. But I would find that super interesting as well if somebody had a Renlib and streaming, for a long thing, and just showing the thoughts, showing the ideas that the players themselves are imagining without the moves on the board, by someone who is experienced and a good caliber of a player.
Easily possible. We just need a couple of live tournaments to happen for that.
We'll get there.
I mean,
we'll get
for
there.
sure stream like
we'll
next
get
match
there.
in final or
Yeah. So that's, I guess, the forward of the podcast today. We have plenty time reserved for today's discussion. Let's start a little bit about your background. I'm sure most of the people watching the stream live knows about you, knows a little bit about where you come from, what you established, how you won the World Championships for Gomoku initially. You played a little bit of the Blitz before that, I suppose, and then Youth World Championships in both games, Renju and Gomoku. So could you please share a few words on those?
Yeah, definitely. So apparently we have to go back like I don't know, 15 years, maybe 14, when I was like 8 or 9. Oh, maybe I should start with, I'm 23 now. Probably most of you know I'm Hungarian, which is in Central Europe. So when I was like 8 or 9, my mom showed me this game. 8, 9, that's pretty young for just a kid.
Yeah.
So she showed me this game. I was not familiar. Of course, she defeated me. And if you know me well, you know I'm a personality that does not like losing in anything, even as a kiddo being 8 years old or so. So she had a nickname on the playing side, and she landed it to me. And I was like trying to get better, play some games, make some basic understanding of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually I got, like, in a short period of time, not too bad in the game. Like I think I played for a couple of months when Gergő Tóth, another Hungarian player, messaged me on this playing site and told me about another playing site, which is playok.com.
Yep.
And told me that the strong players are playing there. I should try it.
I should give it a shot. Back in the day.
Yeah. Górnik. That's the Polish name of the site, right?
Yeah.
So I registered in 2008 June, I think. That was my first register on the site. So basically, I was not yet 11 because my birthday is in October. So I was not yet 11. I was 10 and a little bit. Like, I registered and started playing. When you register and play, okay, your starting rating is 1,200 points.
Yeah.
And I think on my first try, I made 1,900, something
Wow.
like that.
Wow.
But I will not say that it was because I was very good. I was very fast. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
All right.
I was very fast. I played 1 minute games. I was very defensive. I was not trying to attack to actually win, to create a winning position. I was only trying to, be faster than my opponent and win on time. That was how I played the game as a kid.
Yeah.
It was, kind of effective because I got rank. I got the rating points. But then I was actually, playing a lot, getting better at the game. Sometimes I even attacked, and
Yeah.
then during those early years, I was invited to live tournaments a couple of times. Even like I think I was still 11, 12 maybe when I was invited to play in the Hungarian Majin, which was, we had the Hungarian Gomoku rating list like from live tournaments, and we also had like the online tournaments, like it all added up, and we had a Hungarian rating, so it was exclusively Hungarian, and the best 6 players from the rank list were invited to play this tournament, the Majin. And I played a couple of Majins. Usually I ended up like, among last places, because when you have 1 hour time control or even more, and you still play like if it was 1 minute and just instantly put the first defensive idea you have, that's just not gonna work out against strong players that are actually good at the game.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of game. But I enjoyed it. I liked everyone was basically, I don't know, not double my age, but close to that. So like I was 12, they were, I don't know, 20 something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like that.
So
initially success.
Initially, you started with a more passive strategy, fast games.
Oh well, I was a kid. I was hunting points.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no intention to become a strong player. I just wanted to have a lot of points and flags.
Yeah. We had a little bit of discussion on the prep call about those as well. Very interesting ideas you shared about like what is important to players. You mentioned something about many players seeking for points, getting instant gratification on getting their rank rating up instead of learning the game. I can feel that
it's tricky.
Yeah,
it can be tricky because you might play a hell amount of games against considerably weaker opponents and slowly build up a huge rank by that. And then you just camp it, like not play rated games against strong players to save your rank. But that's not your true self. I mean, that's not deserved rating.
It is absolutely something that I can
just not reflecting real knowledge.
I can feel that very deep into my heart as well. When I started ratings and rankings on a Finnish site called Pasimaailma, good shout out for a website that doesn't exist anymore. Surprise, surprise. Almost 20 years after, but I had a record of like 700 wins initially and 3 losses. There was no rating base there, but it was important to me just to win and win and win and win. That was free Gomoku back in the day. Of course, I ended up losing and losing and losing for those that actually knew of the Sherwin of Gomoku. And they ended up introducing me to play sites and it's your turn.com and eventually Renju and Renju online Renju class. So but that fact that Kurnik is based on the rating system, I think it's a big thing and it's not an easy thing to solve, and I would like to see in the future somehow so that people wouldn't fight over the points, but more so understand that okay, let's try and learn the game, let's fight, let's go to war, you know. I'm not saying that, but also not just because the rating comes and goes, and if you're only focusing on the rating, maybe that's not the perfect approach.
Yeah, obviously, if you possess the necessary knowledge, then the rating comes by time. So I would not really stress on what my rating is, you know.
Yeah.
But as a kid or as a newcomer or something, you could enjoy having a lot of points.
Yeah, I did.
And you would basically feel that you are better than other players, and so just because your rank is higher, it is possible, and I'm fine with it. You know, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I just, you know, want this to be more reflecting their actual knowledge. So like, not just like I play with only weak players. No, play with anyone that wants to play with you, and then you will have your real rating, and then you can maybe evaluate it and evaluate your games, check them, see where it goes wrong when you lose, and then make some efforts to improve actually, and then you will never ever have to worry about ratings.
Yeah, I think in Gomoku the rating list is still
good, but
yeah, I think the rating list in Gomoku is still the driving force. In Renju it is the ranking, I think. So at least when I'm talking to my friends, people, when they try to categorize on the level of play, they don't say the rating. It's more often, it's that guy is about 6 dan, 7 dan, maybe 5 dan player, and then that's how I identify, like initially myself at the moment. You know, I once was a 3 dan player, now I haven't played, maybe my level is one or 2 dan. So
we used to have that.
Yeah. So I think that's in a sense that's easier because it doesn't normally dans, they don't go down. There's some countries who offer those ratings or rankings of dans and queues, and they go down, but most often
once with the exclusively Hungarian ratings, we had it.
Yeah.
But officially Gomoku never had it, I think. I mean, at least since I played, I don't remember.
Nice. So Zoli, after those initial years when you were still a kid, you know, what made the big spark? What changed the game?
Well, actually, I think 2009, when I was... Oh, one more fun fact. I think I played my first live tournament in the year I started playing normally. Like, that was 2008 in November, I think. I placed 8th or something like that. And then my second tournament was already in Poland, in Krakow. Like, I went there with the Hungarian delegation, and I finished 5th. Like, I was still 11. I finished 5th among all those very strong players, you know. I was half points behind 2 times world champion Attila Damian. Only half points behind. So that was not bad. I mean, that was definitely a very good experience. And then in 2009, I think I won my only medal from these early stages of my Gomoku career. I won a bronze medal. I think I finished 3rd behind Gomoku legends Gergő Tóth and Rudolf Dubsky. So that was not bad. Then I think I had like a huge break, like a couple of years, because I was still a kid, and Gomoku was just a hobby, some fun activity for me,
Yeah.
and I was mainly focusing on becoming a professional footballer. But um, I had an injury with my knee on a preparational match before the football season started in
Yep.
August. And then I had to go to docs, and they misdiagnosed me. They gave me the wrong diagnosis, which was they said I pulled it, and then it was not recovering. I still it was very bad, and then I went to a specialist, and I was like properly examined, and then they said,
I'm not sure if it's my weak internet connection or my weak laptop. Both should be alright, but I don't know.
it's still not on for me.
Is it not?
I refresh
I
the
can
site now.
I can see OBS. Okay. I can hear you well. I can see myself well.
It's back. It's back now. Too loud.
Yeah. It was the reason what happened there was I on the WhatsApp call I tried to adjust the size of the picture to better position the window, and it just froze.
Okay.
So don't know.
All right. So I had that injury. I spent a hell amount of time in hospital and all that, and eventually they just were like, on the day of operation, I was ready to get operated, and then they came like, oh, so sorry, we exchanged your blood test with another patient, and your blood test is very bad. You can't be operated.
Yeah.
This was a long drama, but I needed something to get out of that mind state when I'm just laying in bed because of my injury, and I couldn't do anything. So I started playing Gomoku again, and then I obtained the Renju solver, and I was like, okay, let's do this for real. I started thinking about the game, not just like clicking before that, because I was only clicking like my intuitively my first ideas, without counting or any kind of checking up on the board or in my mind. Like, I didn't think about the games. I just played it for fun. I didn't care. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win.
Yeah.
But at that time, we are in 2016 November. I have my solver, which is actually a very good program to analyze both Gomoku and Renju. I can only suggest it to anyone who wants to do this kind of activity.
Yeah.
I tried to understand the game. I think I managed to. And then I tried to reinvent it. We have the swap to opening rule, which is, for anyone unfamiliar with the Gomoku opening rule, swap to opening rule is basically the following. There is a first player and there is a second player. First player starts the match. He puts 3 stones on the board on any unoccupied intersections in the following order: black, white, black. And then that is an opening. The second player has 3 options. First, to choose black. Then the first player has to put the 4th stone, which is white, and the game continues.
Yeah.
The second option, he chooses white, he puts the 4th move, and the game continues. And there is option C, which is to put 2 more stones to try to change the position, to balance it or to unbalance it, because both are possible. And then the first player chooses if he wants to be white or black. So this is the swap 2 opening rule. And there were a lot of non and frequent openings, especially from these old school players who have been playing this game for decades or just for a very long time. They were usually playing long pro openings, which always starts from the central, from age 8, the coordinate. And I didn't feel like I should, study all those openings, especially when they are like drawish positions and so. So
Right.
I had an idea. I made swap 2s, like the additional 2 stones to each of these openings. I made at least 3 or 4 different swap 2s to these openings, to each of them. These very frequent ones that I was, not willing to learn. So I pretty much changed them, because then the opening is a 5-stone composition. He has no chance to add 2 more stones. He must make a choice. And usually these were very sharp positions after the 5 stones. So it would only benefit me if I received that opening. And at the same time, I took my time, created a lot of new openings, usually tricky scheme openings where there is only 1 or at maximum 2 possible lines to play. And I really did create a lot of openings and swap 2s.
So that this was this is only 4 years ago, 2017.
Yeah. 4.5, right?
4.5 years, just before the World Championships.
It's still, like, it was. I think I did this in a month or 2.
Wow.
And at the same time, I was constantly going to the doctor, because they said my blood test was bad because of my tonsils, and I received a high amount of antibiotics. And eventually, I had my tonsils removed surgically. And yeah, that was a hassle. In the meantime, after, I don't know, 5 years maybe, Gergő organized the Majin tournament, which was, not organized for many years. And basically there were not many live tournaments in Hungary in that period when I was not active for some reason. There were a couple of tournaments. There was like the Team Gomoku European Championship, I think, in Prague. It was also in Budapest, I think. I did not participate in any of those because I had football matches, so I chose. But this time I was very motivated to win this Hungarian Majin championship, and actually it was a Hungarian Majin Open championship because there were not enough participants from Hungary, to organize it. So it was open. We had participants from Czech Republic, Slovakia, maybe Oleg Bulatovsky came from Ukraine, and I'm not sure if we had more that time. I think we did not. I think we had Igor Agat from Slovakia. I think we had Pavel Lauba, Stepan Tesažič, Jampur Krabek from Czech Republic. We had Rudolf Dubsky, Gergő Tóth from Hungary, and myself. I think that was all. I can't recall. I'm sorry if I missed someone, but
that is some heavy level name dropping there. I'm starting to sweat here a little bit.
It was a pretty strong, bunch of players.
Yeah,
they are all very strong, and apparently, I finished second in that tournament. Gergő won it with a very convincing 6 points out of 7. I defeated him. That was his only loss. but I made terrible mistakes in my other games due to which I consider my biggest, mistake or problem. That very, very often I'm not patient. I just don't have the patience to actually focus on my games. And I was just playing on my phone while playing against these high caliber players. And of course I lost. I mean, they are good enough to defeat me if I'm not trying. And even if I'm trying, they can defeat me. So I finished second with only 4 points out of 7. I could be second. So
How much
besides
before?
Gary, everybody was just winning and losing and winning and losing.
This was before the World Championships 2017, right?
Yeah, it's 2017, January 25th and 26th, I think.
Right. And then
my memory saves. I hope it does.
Then you decided.
Then I was
the World
disappointed.
Championships is something you really want to go after.
Yeah, I wanted to become world champion, and I evaluated that tournament as a huge failure not to win it and actually play so bad, like making those mistakes. And I just kept working on it, tried to be better in attack, because I was already a very good defensive player. I did that for years as a kid, only defended. But I needed to learn how to attack. So and at the same time, my friend Lucas Meixner from Poland, he had a great idea. He wanted to launch the online Gomoku World Blitz Cup, which was an idea in November, the same time I started, playing. And I, of course, said that I will contribute and I will help him organize it. I think it was launched like shortly after, in February, after this Majin Championship Live. It was organized online on playok.com. I think there were more than 90 participants in total. I had very high hopes about the gold medal. I obviously, I just came back to the game like normally, and I was in the process of actually getting good. And even if I'm getting good, we are talking about 1-minute games where you have to be very fast, not just good. You have to be very good in a very fast way.
Yeah.
And I started playing it. I was not really losing games, and it felt good. I felt like, okay, I can make it to the final easily, But there were other very strong players, like Adrian Fitzerman from Poland, who is known as one of the best blitz players for, I don't know, a decade more. There was, I think, Bano, there was Zukola, and many, many players. I said over 90 players. So it was not an easy thing to do. But at the same time, I kept inventing new openings, new swap twos, learning theories for sure in openings, and all that. I just spent a whole amount of time. I mean, I was still, laying in the bed because I had my tonsil removed surgically, and then the doctor said I need to wait like 6 weeks till that toxin is, disseminating from my body till it's dissolved. And I was patient. I really, really wanted to have my operation because I still really wanted to play football. But, at the same time, I fell in love with Gomoku again. And, I really enjoyed playing it. So I wanted to, do both. And at the same time, I was supposed to attend university. I had to skip a whole year because of my knee injury.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty bad start as a, fresh guy at the university, skipping a whole year. Basically, in a whole year, you can easily forget a lot about high school, especially when you never paid attention to high school like I did. I was not really, let's be honest, I was not really motivated to learn in high school because I found out that, it's boring for me. It's gibberish. I don't need it. It's not necessary for me. I But let's not discuss the already 2017 June. And I was, I had my new blood test. I brought it to my, I don't know, the ear doctor, whatever the name is. It is otolaryngologist or something like that.
Yeah.
So I brought my blood test. She said, "I'm cool. I can have my operation." I was like, very happy. Let's go. Let's rock. Let's do it. I went to this doctor, the knee specialist. He was like more than 200 kilometers away from me, and it's a hustle to get there. When you can't really walk and you have to take the bus because there's just no other way. Your mom is working. You don't have a dad, and I had to take the bus, but it was fine. Just I got there, and then the doctor said my blood test is not good. He's not going to operate me, and I was like, "What's not good with it? Like, what can I do so you operate me?" And he was like, not saying much. He said, "It's just not good. I'm not operating you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh fuck it, man. Oh fuck it," and I went, home. I decided that I'm not spending more time with it. I can't. I literally can't, because if I don't start the university in September, then I'm out. I'm dropped out, and I didn't want to be expelled because of that. And also, there was the World Championships in Prague upcoming, and I was very motivated to go there to win it, to actually see how my work can
Would it pay off?
Yeah, how can it pay off? Like, if it was, I did the right things, if my method is working, if my understanding of the game is actually correct. And I wonder, as a newcomer, I had to play the cutie. Oh, before that, I won the World Blitz Cup final against Adrian Fitzerman. I mean, I won all my matches. I won the final with the minimum score of 22-18. So it was not like a total destroying, but I had a huge lead. I think I was like up to +9, 10 in the final. But then he started, winning games, and it was 21-18. The rule, according to the rules, you need at least 22 points and +4 difference to win the final. That was the rule in that edition of the World Blitz Cup. And I won the next game, in which he had a win, actually. So it could have been 21-19. And then I need 2 more to win. And I was already, I lost focus. My friend came over. I mean, we were supposed to meet after the final to, celebrate. But he came early, and he disturbed me while playing. It was not the best. It was funny. But I won. And then we celebrated. And then I went to Prague. But before that, I went to Budapest. I spent like a couple of days with Gergő. And we played preparational matches. And most importantly, what he helped me with was, he told me, like, put your phone on the desk, focus on the board.
Yeah.
Don't play on your phone. Think. Use your mind. And I did that.
That focus was the long games particularly.
Sorry?
And the focus was the long games. The long duration games.
We did over an hour time control. It was obviously preparation for the World Championships final. I mean, I had to play qualification at tournaments, but I was not worried about that.
So let's clarify. Let's clarify. You basically show up in the World Championships 2017 in Prague. You had never played World Championships before.
No, I haven't.
Then you qualified to the A tournament, and then you won it.
I did.
And then you won it.
Yeah.
That is mad. That's crazy. Like if I look at Renju World, I can't recall something like that happening. That somebody just basically unknown, basically somebody who didn't get great results a year before that. So yeah, you won something, but basically what I'm getting here is you got most of your development from a good basic player and a kid who played a lot of quick games and got a good rating, yes, but basically the analysis and transforming your game style from those quick games and inventing new
kind of traits. I use the method to analyze myself, how I play, what are my weak points, what I should improve in, what are my opponent's weak points, how could I get advantage over almost anyone in the world, and I did that.
Wow.
For example, these swapters, these new openings, that gives me a huge advantage, and of course I studied, my opponents. I had a lot of preparation on matches. I played in 2017. There was in 2016. There was the first, I think, Black and White Magic series. It's still running on Play OK. Every Friday, for 4 years, I think. Black and White Magic series. Black Magic is the first half of the year, and White Magic is the second half of the year. I didn't play in the first half. I was always busy playing football. I played a couple of tournaments, but usually, how I played? I was coming home from training, and I played on my phone while walking home. It's not convenient, and I missed a lot of tournaments because late trainings. I missed the start, and then I can't participate. But actually, in the White Magic series, I played almost every tournament because I was injured. I was in bed. I won it with a very huge score, I think, almost winning every tournament every Friday. And then in the final, I had to face the Black Magic, which was actually Ushiak, the Lucas Meixner, the Black Magic. And I won the final with a score of 5.5 half out of the 6 games. So that was cool. And then I played a match against Mikhail Kozhin, 2 times a bronze medalist of the World Championships in Gomoku, I think. Also an established Renju player. So he was a name, he's a name. And I played a match with him. I think it was 1-1, maybe. I can't recall. I think it was ending in a draw. But it was, a good learning for me to see where I should improve more, what I should focus on during my next couple of days training. And then I think I also played a match with Denis Osipov. It was a match series of 8 games. I think that I actually lost that. I was leading and I lost it 5-3. The first part ended either in my favor or as a draw, and then I lost it. Like in the second 4 games, I did really bad, I think. And it's okay. It was a friendly match. It's preparation. I just need to see what my mistakes are and try to correct them. And I did that. And when I got to actually Prague and, joined the World Championships, many players, there were 2 sides. Either they were my friends who were supporting me, or people that have seen my higher levels during 1-minute games, and deprived the idea of, if I can play that high level in 1 minute, how high level can I play in 135 minutes?
Yeah.
And they were very supportive. They expected me not only to get into the final, but to win it. And then there was this other side who were like, I'm not more than a time player, blocker. I always was that.
Well, that's
I
natural.
will never get into the World Championships final.
Yeah, that's natural, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
I was like, motivated to prove them wrong.
You did. You certainly did.
That doubted me.
Yes. A little bit going back to the swap 2 rule and the fact that you were able to, in a relatively short period of time, a couple months to 6 months perhaps, invent a bunch of new openings that you could exploit. I think this type of way of learning new theory and inventing new theory, I think in Renju, which is more traditional, going back 120, 130 years, current RIF rules. Of course, there is the rule change shenanigans going on for a good part of the last 20 years that I don't want to get involved on my first streaming too much. But I think the traditional part of Renju has always been central opening, 26 opening, 13 indirect, 13 direct openings, and relatively easy opening procedure. And there it goes. Obviously on the top tier players, the World Championship level, RIF rule is not really playable anymore because of the fact that there's only a handful of openings playable, and forced draw possibilities happen. So we are now looking and have been looking for alternatives, Serve 8, Taraguchi amongst others. I do personally like the Taraguchi because it allows a little bit more freedom, but it's still in the center. What I'm coming here with the point is that I think many of the traditional players and countries and clubs, they want to still keep on the central idea of the game and not allow people to invent and disrupt the pre-learned theories that much. And I would really much like to hear your thoughts about the whole thing when you have now been on both sides, not only Gomoku but also Renju. And
so you are interested in my opinion on Renju?
Yes, Renju, and maybe it would be very interesting for me to hear your thoughts about the rules, different rules, the swap twos. Perhaps Renju could somehow use swap 2 as well. And
I can make the comparison. I played both. I will be honest, even if I won gold medal in my group in the Renju Youth World Cup, I think I still can't remember the opening rule because, I asked a friend to explain me how a game begins in Renju. Like, I don't know, 30 minutes prior to the tournament. So I was, I know that it's always from the central, it starts there, but that is pretty much limiting it. It is limiting my creativity levels. I will make the comparison for myself, how I see it. For me, the Renju opening rule, whether it's Serve 8 or Taraguchi, I tried both. And I think it limits a lot from the creativity because you always have the same starting position. It is like similar to the reason why I don't play chess. I don't enjoy chess because there is always the very same starting position, and people can just, memorize the first, best moves, and then you are like, if you have the capability of memorizing a high amount of moves, then you can just be good. And you don't need to count. You don't need to actually think about strategies whatsoever. You can reach a certain level in chess if you memorize the first couple of moves.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And of course, on higher levels, that's not enough. But with Gomoku, even on smaller levels, you can't just do that because you need to be more, versatile. There are a high amount of different openings. Like, obviously, there is a limit on the board. It's a 15 times 15 board. There is an exact number of how many possible different openings you can put. I don't remember it, but there is.
But it's significantly higher when you don't have to start from the center.
It's either 700,000 or 70-something thousand.
Yeah.
So it's not 26. You see that?
Yeah.
How many times it's bigger than that?
Yeah. No, I think this idea
it could be
is.
easily calculated, but
I think popularizing Renju. I think this could be key. I think this is something to look at for sure. And
but for example, I think Renju has the beauty in the forbidden moves.
yeah,
And if you have a strong opening rule that provides a lot more chances, then the game becomes more complex, obviously. And people have to adapt to game styles or whatever, because I don't really think you can really have a certain kind of style like in Gomoku, in Renju, because you can prefer certain openings out of those 26 or how many. You can prefer certain branches, but it's not the same. Like you have a repertoire of, I don't know, 150 openings in Gomoku, and there among them you have a whole amount of corner openings where you have your own branches, preferred lines to play.
yeah.
That's more of a style than, just choosing one theory and learning that by heart or something. It's not the same page. It's not on the same page, definitely. So when I played Renju, I mostly enjoyed playing Swap 2 Renju. I don't know if it's an actual thing. I played it with Swap 2 rule because that was the only way I found it exciting enough for myself. I mean, I basically played Swap 2 Gomoku, if we may, with the forbidden moves, or I played Swap 2 Renju. I don't know which is the proper expression. I don't know if Swap 2 Renju is, a thing. I know it's not the official rule. That's
It's
all.
not. Yeah, it's not the official rule, but it's been played on a testing purposes, and have been played
Yeah,
for
I
years.
think that's a lot better rule for me personally.
Yeah.
But I can understand if someone, I mean, I will not be angry or mad or whatever at anyone that wants to keep repeating the same theory. Even in Gomoku, there are people that does that. There is a player from Latvia called Matis Reichert. He has like 3 or 4 openings that he really loves to play,
Yeah.
and he just, mass plays it, like does not play anything else besides that when he is having these friendly 1-minute games or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I played I5 opening. I'm very well known for it. Over the 15 years that I played as an active player, probably half of my RIF games started with I5, so I'm guilty on that as well.
I will be honest, I don't know the names of these openings. When I started this thing where I reinvented the game,
Yeah.
I made my own names for the openings.
Yeah.
Even for the non-openings, I gave them names. So I specifically, and only I know which means which. So,
Wow. Perhaps
to distinguish.
another stream, another podcast, you show me a few of those.
I mean, I can, but quite sadly, after the World Championships, I think my laptop broke shortly after, maybe even before, I can't recall.
Yeah.
My laptop broke, and it was a very serious, breakdown for it. And I totally lost my whole opening book, like everything. I did not make a Google Drive save or something.
Yeah.
I didn't back it up.
This is a reminder for you out there on the YouTube stream. Go back up your analysis and your work.
I lost dozens of millions of analyzed moves.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It happens to everybody. It happens to everybody.
Yeah,
cloud saving is better. That's.
It's very funny. I bought a new laptop last year. I got Solver on it. I started, re-establishing my once very nice repertoire. of analyzed moves. I was at a couple million moves already. And then the new laptop, like,
Oh.
it's couple months old.
Oh.
It broke.
Oh. Oh.
So like
Oh.
I was damn mad, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by World Championships previously, I meant before 2019 in Tallinn, not the Prague one which I won. Yeah. So it can be hard, but after a point, you just understand the game. It's very good to have your Ranlib or something, to check your libraries, to check your analyzed moves.
Yeah.
But after a while, you can just count on the board. It's harder, definitely harder, than to revise your once analyzed moves, to actually count them again in your mind. It takes time, it takes effort,
So
but it's
what
possible.
if you're, let's brainstorm a little bit in a sense that, I find it fascinating to speak to people like yourself. In Renju, there is a lot of people who can calculate like a ton. Like, what do you think, if you're on a 1 minute game on Play OK, how many moves intuitively can you predict, like on an ongoing position in average? Can you see 3 moves, 4 moves, 11 moves, where we are at on a one
I
minute game?
say it pretty much depends on the position.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you play
Got it.
an opening, a scheme that I know,
Yeah.
and I know the theory, I know it up to 40, 50 moves by heart.
Wow.
So I can,
Yeah.
I know the lines, I know how to win them.
Yeah.
And this is for certain openings.
Yeah.
If we play a corner opening, then there are so many options that I can make my assumptions and expectations based on my opponent's style.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much know almost everyone that I should know and I could play against. I know them and I know how they play, which openings they like. I have all that in my mind. So I know the human nature. Like, this is a bit like psychology part. Like I have these theories. Like, when I play shooting games, with RNG, and I have to decide upon my tactics, I have theories. Like, people are mostly right-handed, and that's because because of that, they move to the right side of the map. Like, when they want to, push you to kill you or something in the game, they move from the right side mostly. And it's actually not a proven theory, but it's usually right. It's same with Gomoku.
Wow.
People are usually right-handed,
Yeah.
and based on that, I can make predictions. So,
nice.
not supernatural. I just use
No.
psychology to play advance.
That's it. Wow. That's some next level, well, almost curse.
Yeah,
I don't have to.
in my life, whatever case it is, whatever thing I'm doing, I always try to calculate with every possible factor.
Yeah.
So if I play a match against a human, I will calculate with the human factor.
Yeah.
Which could be, different in different cases. Like, some players will always fear me, like, to play against me, because they will have this pressure that I'm Zoli and I have won so many games or whatever.
Yeah.
And some players will never fear me because they are focusing on their game, they are calm in the mind and all that. Or they are simply just, not bothering to care. And I have to calculate with that factor too. Because if I have, just let's talk about 1 minute games. If I have a bad position on the board, I can play a fake attack. Like, I can make him believe that I can do an attack there because I'm Zoli.
Yeah.
And he will lose if he's not blocking it. And then even if he has a few moves win, he might, block it
I've used
because
that.
of being scared.
Even me, I've used that on a tournament, a bluff move. But
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
a thing.
convincing enough, if you're convincing enough, and yeah, you play that, it can work.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
Against if I
yeah,
play with an artificial intelligence, I would never do that.
yeah,
I would never do that. But
yeah,
against a human,
yeah,
I can easily do that. Just because I can choose worse lines. I don't need to play always the best moves against a human. I can choose different kind of tactics.
yeah,
I may on purpose play a weaker move in the position. So imagine we have a position where we have 10 stones on the board. I have 3 possible options to move. Only one of them is surviving. One leaves an easy win. One leaves a very hard win. Based on my evaluation of my opponent, I can choose the surviving move, after which he still has advantage, and I can pretty much fight for the draw.
yeah,
I can choose the second option, which was the easy win. I don't want to choose that, obviously.
yeah,
And I will most likely, if my evaluation is, that he will not find the win, then I will play the risky move where he has a win and I know he has a win, but I doubt he will find it or play it correctly in the correct order. So maybe, he screws his win with the wrong order of moves or whatever. Or just, not seeing the win and not trying to find it. Then I play this move, and with that move I have advantage like globally if we don't count with the win in the corner.
yeah.
And later on, after I have like the advantage, I can just go back and block it so he doesn't have the win anymore. This is the human factor
Wow,
which I count with when I play.
it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Yeah. I think the one that you can take some points and it looks like an attack that I can relate to, but I won't give any win for any opponent as an exchange for a draw basically. So if I find a win, I can be quite rest assured that they will find it as well.
Well, I was talking about strictly 1 minute games.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
live
okay.
tournaments, I
All
don't
right.
do this.
All right. All right. Well, that's amazing that you can actually find three paths to go and calculate that quickly. That there is quite
Well,
a difficult win.
the very reason why I am also very successful is not only that I think fast, I
Yeah.
count fast, I mean, but I also make the correct assumptions very fast.
Yeah.
So,
Intuition.
when I play blitz games, whether it is 1 minute, 2 minute, 10, whatever, and I have time trouble,
Mm.
and there is no fissure, let's assume, or there
Yeah.
is, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have a very short time to make my move. I always have my cursor on the very next move of mine. And I think over 90% of the time, I am correctly expecting the opponent's moves.
Yeah.
Even if it is, a total drawish position, we have made 150 moves on the board. I still guess where he moves next. Because that is something like is just, a psychological kind of thing.
Yeah. For sure.
You know his style, you see how he plays,
Yeah.
you can figure out how his brain works, how he's thinking.
Yeah.
And based on that, you can make assumptions. It all depends on you, how fast your brain can proceed all these informations and react.
So how this is all the quick games. What about when you're playing those 3-hour, 4-hour games? How many moves can you count? What do you think? Like, how would you describe that?
I have mentioned that I have, I tend to not think about my games usually. and it's very hard for me to find motivation to sit there unless I know I play against a very strong player and I'm really motivated to actually play the best, or I have a good day, bad day. That is also a human factor, which day I have. My mood is swings up and down, so it's hard. But if I play a long game, then depending on who is the opener, the first player, if it's me, I usually make the necessary preparation. I check if I have to. If I don't know by heart which opening my opponent knows, then I make my checkup. I check his games online, in like game sites. I check his live games. I do this kind of activity, and then I just go and figure out if he is a type of player that plays schemes or knows schemes. If he is a type of player that is not learning theory, but he is just using his pure skill to outpower his opponents. Like, I can list at least three very strong players that do that. One is Rudolf Dubsky from Hungary, former world champion. He is not learning theory. He is just a monster in counting. There is Pavel Lauba from Czech Republic. He is also not really learning. He knows a couple of theories. He does. But he's not spending his time, learning all the new openings and all that. He's counting and he's very good at that. There is Michal Zajk from Poland. He's exact same as Kadlub or Dubsky. He's a very good player. He's not learning theories. His opening repertoire hasn't changed for over a decade, I think. And that makes him pretty vulnerable when he's on the open. But besides, when you see his in-game, when someone is not preparing for him and it's just a skill versus skill from a 50-50 opening, then he is usually, outpowering his opponent by his great skill.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a thing. So I check if I have a schemer type of opponent or skill type of opponent. It can be, very well. You can be skillful and know schemes. It's possible. But I check this and I make a decision what opening I should choose. If it is a very important match, then I most likely also make preparations. I try to figure out, based on the style of my opponent, what kind of swap to he will put against my scheme opening. And if I, succeed to figure it out, I not just only try to figure it out, I analyze those ideas I have based on the expected swap twos. I analyze those positions and prior to the match, think about it in advance. So I will not have to during the match, And, that's all I think, based on my preparations. I mean, it would be damn good if I could list among my preparation parts that I take a good sleep before an important match. But that's not me.
Well, you're still young, 20 years old. You will come to
I'm
an age. Yeah, 23. So you will come to an age where you basically will have to adjust at some point. I'm 40 now, so I'm pretty much there.
Be able to sleep without problems.
Yeah.
That's fine, but it's still fine now, so it's okay. I just drink an energy drink, and you have the necessary caffeine or adrenaline for necessary time. And
nice.
If I am the second player of the pairing and I am about to receive an opening, I have to first do the same process, just reverse. What openings does he play? Does he know? Will any of his friends help him? That's also important.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
if I expect one of his friends to help him, then I have to check his friends' openings
That's it.
and prepare from that.
Yeah.
If it's an important game, I will definitely do that.
Cheeky,
And
very cheeky. Very good.
it's just logical.
No, but it
to me.
it is. I've been guilty of doing that sometimes, preparing.
Like, what do you want in any kind of sports event?
Yeah,
Let it be football or Gomoku. You want to max out your chances to win,
that's it. Yeah,
and it's part of it. And after I'm done with that, if there is a too big number of possible openings because he doesn't have a favorite opening, he overly plays. Like, there is Gergu. Gergu is such a versatile player that he can, always open something new to you. He is one of the best in this matter to prepare for you. Like, he will for sure. You can't just guess what he will open to you. It's not easy. So it's hard. But at the same time, because he is so well prepared, you can't just open anything to him, because you don't want to give a sure win for him on the opening. And also, you don't want a sure draw. I mean, why would you?
So basically, in short, if you're ever playing against me, if any of the viewers are ever playing against me in a Gomoku tournament, don't look at my games, look at Zoli's games, because he's teaching me, he's preparing me. So look at his games, and don't look at my history at all.
That's not a good piece of advice for anyone, because I am familiar with a couple hundred of openings.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I can literally just list you 30 openings that I know and I haven't played over the last year.
Wow.
So nobody would expect it, basically.
Yeah, I'm not very much used to as a player who prepares anything anyway. So that's kind of an inside joke there.
Yeah,
but maybe I can change.
It.
Maybe I can change it. Maybe these discussions and this broadcasting thing, maybe it kicks a little bit of spark for me to start preparing. And like initially I was thinking this as an easy chat about your background, where you see yourself now, where you see in the future, where you see Gomoku in general, and then maybe placing some stones on the board. But I think if there is enough discussion now, maybe we can do another session later on with some tactics or some theory as well. Let's
Definitely.
see.
We can all do that. I mean, I'm pretty much willing to help almost anyone in the Gomoku community. Like, I can share my method. I mean, I'm not a selfish guy. I also want to play against very strong opponents.
Yeah.
So it's also good for me if they learn how to perfect their game. It benefits me because I could play with stronger opponents. I mean, stronger than their current selves. And it would be, giving me a much harder time to defeat them. And it would be, a kind of challenge, and I like that. But I wanted to ask you to have like a short break, like a few minutes, like
sure.
I don't know, 6-7.
No, absolutely.
And I will be short back. I will turn off my camera, mute myself, and I will let you know when I'm back.
Perfect. Catch you in a bit. So basically, hour and 20 minutes done already for the first broadcast, and we're still here. I have no idea how many people are on the line. I'm using OBS Studio for the first time, discounting yesterday's prep session, which we chatted already yesterday with Zoli about 4.5 hours, but I didn't use that time to learn the software, unfortunately. Not well enough. anyways, hey, Ivo there, very nice comment. Bonalash, Opohov, I don't know, at least 3 people have been watching this so far already on the live stream, which is delightful. Ivo said Woody did a similar thing back in 2007. Yeah, it's been done, but I think it's just crazy, you know. And it shows that if you have a little bit of talent and you want to put the hard work in, you can do that. And it's just crazy to me, because I've been stagnant with my Renju development since, well, for 15 years basically. And sometimes I get a little bit of inspiration. Let's analyze, let's play a little bit online, and let's practice for a tournament. Show up. I do well, better if I practice, but then kind of lose interest until the next event. So maybe if I approached it better, maybe I could pump up my level 1 or 2 notches up. We will see about that. But hearing from somebody like Zoli that was good, and then just basically reinvented the game, or just made up new openings and just said, you know, I'm not playing with the old rules, I'm making my rules, deal with it, and wins world championships in a game that is, you know, as popular as Gomoku is worldwide, win world championships. That is amazing. I absolutely love that story, and I think that should be an inspiration for anybody starting out on Gomoku. And like, it's possible. It's just you do your work. And as Zoli said, you know, it's not coming easy. You know, you still have to. It's not just you're talented at doing something, but you have to put in the hours. You have to analyze. You have to practice. You have to talk to better players than yourself, and you have to be humble. And once you do that, you can do some damage. You can do some good results. I think that's admirable, really admirable. And I think if we still have a few minutes before Zoli gets back here, I'd like to use this couple of minutes to share a little bit about the idea of these sessions. So I was on a run maybe a few weeks ago. I was on a run and I had this crazy idea that these podcasts are getting popular on YouTube. The streaming is getting popular on Twitch. Gomoku and Renju are getting popular. Nobody's doing things like this. And then, hey, wait a second. I happen to know very interesting people in both of the games. And hey, we have a Renju community, Click of Stones community already on Facebook. So let me, I pick up the phone. I called Ivo, I called Zoli, I called Epifanov and Samuli. And they say, yes, the stream will be available offline later. I think I will have to see if I can cut it somehow for a little bit shorter format. I'm not sure how to do that, but I'll put it on YouTube and send it as a link on the Click of Stones Facebook community. So anybody watching the stream at the moment, please do subscribe wherever, I don't know. Subscribe the Twitch channel, and do subscribe my YouTube channel later. I have just made it. It's Click of Stones. There's nothing there now, but there will be stuff later on. But anyways, I called these guys. I said, hey, what if I said I started this streaming thing, and I would just basically interview you guys. Let's have 2-3 hour sessions, just discussion of various topics. And then if you feel like it, you could teach me some Renju and make me a better player. So it's all like it's all for me to learn about like how to approach the game better and how to learn better tactics, better theory. Oh, thank you. Cheers. And also find out, you know, what is this streaming thing? What is this? What kind of potential there is, and also make it real, you know, that this Gomoku thing is going to be a big thing. It's going to be a massive thing. I think the potential is like, if you go anywhere in the world, basically, and you go to maths class, the smartest kids, what do? They play 5 in a row game anywhere in the world. So that's the potential, that's the market size. And now we are seeing, you know, this exploding in China. They have these game servers with Gomoku and also Renju, but I think it's gonna be I think couple of maybe a couple of
I'm back.
You're back. Did you turn the video?
Right now.
All right. Yep. Nice. Can hear you, and let's see if we can add that to the stream as well. And this one is not
Capture
window caption. That's it. I feel such a boomer. Am I okay? Can you tell? Is 40 years old enough to call? I'm not a millennial. I'm born in 1980, so I'm not a millennial.
It doesn't matter if you are. You know, it's like every joke is new to a baby.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same thing.
You think Samuli? You think we're doing it in Finnish tomorrow next week?
Sorry, what?
No, Samuli is commenting there on the chat that we are doing it in
yeah,
Finnish.
So
let's see. So I have my homework to figure these things out. Window capture, and then I can see it. You know, I can see it.
Need
now.
To do it a couple of times, then you will memorize it, and it will be flawless.
It's in Finnish style. All right. Yeah. I can adjust my accent. This is my Finnish accent. This is how I will be speaking next week. It's nice. Good. It's good. All right. Now it's beautifully positioned as well. The video is back on. All right. So we're hour and 30 minutes in. I am still energized. I could fetch a little bit of tea. Give me 20 seconds. I'll get some more tea. I'm terrified that we'll have some memes already brewing up in the communities from this one.
I doubt.
No.
I don't think it is yet going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm so proud. I already said subscribe and like. All right, let's do that. Everybody subscribe everything and join the Facebook community and join Gomoku World as well, and join Zoli's Gomoku streaming thing. I'm not mentioning the other one anymore. Zoli, I said when you were gone that they were asking if I posted the copy of this, and I said yeah I will, but I will try to cut it. So that's my homework. Try to find some program, some piece of software, and do some cutting, and then we get rid of all sorts of things.
My advice on that is Sony Vegas Pro.
All right. Well, we'll check it later. We have plenty of time before Samuel's episode next week, and post production is something I know nothing about, but it's got a good start, and I've enjoyed it so far very well, and I think the information and the way you're speaking about your past in both the injury, but also like what kind of how do you remember those early years. So super inspirational stuff for anybody, regardless whether they're just starting Gomoku, starting Renju, or they've been within the community for 15 years.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying to everyone that is like, either starting to play Gomoku now or started it long ago but never made a commitment to actually be a good player and win tournaments or whatever, be established as a pro player, a good player. My piece of advice here is, in the very first stages, the first period of time, you have to put some effort, some serious effort. I'm not saying they should lay in the bed and analyze like 10 hours a day or whatever, because they surely don't have the time for that. And, they have to, in the first case, the first phase, put some serious efforts there. And after that, it will just become a lot easier because there will be less things for you to learn. You can just focus on improving. And, first there is a big boom of improvement because you start understanding the game. And there is a smaller, there are smaller steps there. You just learn, one more new opening or I don't know, maybe diversificate your game style and try to learn how an artificial intelligence would play, because I did also these kind of things. So I remember when in this first edition of the online Gomoku World Blitz Cup, which was in 2017, I played, this is the 1 minute World Championship. My preparation for that was, I found myself a bot. I knew a developer because he was constantly cheating against me. So, I flipped it and became from victim the prey, the predator, from prey to predator. And because of that, I was not stressing, about being cheated like multiple times. I didn't care. I just created a new nickname to not screw my statistics. I decided that on that nickname, I will only play against people that I know or I think they are cheating. And I played hundreds of games with this program. And, one of my biggest accomplishments was I defeated a bot on time. Like, how fast can I be if I defeat a bot on time in 1 minute? Like, that's amazing. I mean, I moved so fast and I moved correct moves so fast that I did not lose the game. Matter of fact, I moved faster than the bot because I still had 2 or 3 seconds when the time went up. And besides that, I managed to outplay it a couple of times, which is also feeling good. But the training was mostly for speed. I used the bot to develop my speed, my reaction skills, and it was damn useful. I gained a lot of speed because I mentioned I played with Adrian Fitzerman in the final, and Adifak is a very fast player. He's very fast, and he might not play the very best moves. He might be passive a little, but he's not playing, easily losing moves ever. And you need to be fast to catch up with his speed. So even if he manages to defend your attacks, you still don't lose on time because you kept his pace. And that was important for me because I knew that he's very fast. And I didn't want to lose games on time just because I am trying to attack and be more creative. And that always takes more time than to play a defensive move. I can keep it balanced and play defensive moves, but then it's really down to blitzkrieg, you know, like whose time goes up faster. Like, you know, I don't want that because that's random.
Yeah.
I prefer when I can expect more.
Which second does that turn into you for on 1 minute? You know, where are we when you consider it's blitzkrieg?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is it 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds when you start, when the fear or the terror starts kicking in?
For me, no time.
No time. All right.
Yeah.
For me, it's about 10 seconds, and then
when I play, let's give a very, very good example for that I don't fear. In last year, in August, there was the Gomoku and the Renju World Youth Cup organized by the Estonians, by aunts and the cooperatives, you know, like Ando Merite was helping a lot with all the video connections, Madli Mirma helped a lot, and a lot of other people for sure helped a lot. And because of the pandemic, it was impossible for us to meet in person. But the organizers, they did a huge effort, which I really, really appreciated. They made it possible for us to, you know, not just skip totally the year, but they came up with the idea. We played on Wind.aa, the Estonian gaming site. We played there. And to prevent cheating and all that, and maybe, you know, create the false impression of actually meeting your opponent, we had Zoom video connection, and there were clubs and all that. So mostly it was like the kids, the students of coaches, they gathered in a room or something, and there were the video cameras, and they just played there from their laptops or personal computers or whatever. And there were a couple of players, including myself, who were given the chance to play from their home with the necessary, you know, precautious measurements to you know, prevent cheating, like with the video connection, showing my screen, my desk, whatever. And first, I mean, if anyone wants, I can link my diary on that tournament from Renju News to the chat. If somebody is interested, I can do it.
Please do copy those.
All right, just give me a second then.
And also, you had a nice article about your 2017 World Championships games. Highly recommend that as well. I will be copying these links for the YouTube.
All right.
As well later on.
So this one now, I copy pasted my diary of this Youth World Cup, and later on I will link up the other ones. So where was I? Yeah, we played like that, and first the Renju tournament was held, and then the Gomoku. I decided to participate in the Renju tournament as well, you know, because why not?
Yeah.
But I didn't really know the rules even, so I didn't have high expectations. It was like there was the opening ceremony, I think on Monday, and after the opening ceremony there was it's all written in the diary as well, I think. There was this Macau test open. I think over 80 participants joined. And of course I joined because, you know, I wanted to do some practice before the actual tournament, given the fact that I have no idea about Renju Towers. Absolutely I still don't have an idea about it. I can just, you know, think logically, and that's it for me in Renju. And I played this test opening organized by the Macau guys. I won it, I think. Like, I lost 2 games. In the first case, I misclicked when I had a few seconds. It can happen. It's online. What can you do? If your finger slips, it's done.
Yeah.
I lost it. And then the second game I lost was against Gergrom Topkin from Estonia. And he basically just owned me. I mean, I'm pretty straightforward on that. I had no chance in the whole game. He you know, dictated the tempo and all that. And he just fooled me. Like if I was actually a fool. Yeah, he fooled me.
That's
And
Topkin.
easily defeated. And then the next day started this Renju tournament. And if somebody is really interested in that, I suggest reading the diary. I just want to give that example of me not fearing for being under time pressure. I'm never under time pressure. Like, I don't feel that, oh my god, I have 5 seconds, what happens? No, because I know when I start the game what time control the game is with, and I can just decide how many minutes I want to use maximum or minimum, because for me I have to set a minimum because I tend to rush and just do it. So I usually have to set myself a minimum even in Gomoku, so especially in Gomoku. But there was my match on the second day.
Yeah.
Can you repeat? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, that's worth thinking for myself as well. For my personal games, I sometimes play unnecessarily fast when there is
it's not
1
helping
or 2
sometimes.
hours of yeah.
Like, this was the second day. It was Wednesday, the second day of the Renju Youth World Cup, and I was supposed to play in the 4th round. There were 9 rounds in total, 3 every day, each day. And I was supposed to play against Denis Fedotov from Russia, a marvelous talent of the game. I mean, he's for sure younger than me. I don't know how much younger. I think a couple of years. And he played in the Renju World Championship final in 2019 in Tallinn. So because of that, you must know that he's good at the game. And before the match, some guys that I talked about it, like, they told me I shouldn't even bother. Fedotov knows theory up to 50 moves. He memorized it. He knows everything. And I was like, okay. I mean, he's not a robot, It's just not possible to memorize each and every position and move. I mean, humans have their limits. And I was like, he can make mistakes, because why not? And if he was so good that he memorized each and every opening or whatever position up to 50 moves, then he would have easily won the World Championships, anytime. So I decided that, most likely I will still lose, but I will try. I didn't prepare editing because literally there would be so much theory to learn in a couple of hours. I just spent that 3 or 4 hours with sleeping instead before the match. I mean, at night, because I was up till very late, as usual. And the morning came. I think we had to play 7:30 a.m. my time. And he put the debut. And I spent, like, if I can, remember, over 20 minutes. I think it was 23, just on the opening. And the tournament was with 30 minutes time control. So I used more than 2/3 of my time on the opening. And I was, not bothered by it, because if I use my time, actually use my time, so I'm thinking,
Yeah.
then I have the lines in my mind. I count them. Why would I fear? Like, I just use my time from later on at that very early moment. I mean, the beginnings of these games are the most important part, because if you mess it in the beginning, then you can spend 17 billion hours in the beginning. I mean, in the end, if you screwed it in the beginning, it's not gonna help.
True.
If you
Very
screwed
true.
it, you screwed it. So I didn't want to. And then he played a move, and I spent like, I don't know, on the first couple of moves, I spent more minutes, like more 4 or 5 plus 5. And that means I had 2 minutes left, 3 maybe, after 8 or 9 stones on the board. But, I was calm. I mean, I counted the lines. I didn't see his win. Technically, I can be wrong. It could happen that I miscounted. It's very early in the morning, and all that. But I was not. And then I was like, okay, this move is pretty advantageous for me. I calculated his options like after the opening. So we are at, I don't know, 12 moves now. What should I do? I have no time to think about strategies whatsoever. I just use my pre-counted moves and do it. And then if he moves something I expected, it's good because I can instantly put my next move. If he moves something I did not expect, it's probably an instantly losing move, and I win. I don't need to think. I can instantly react and win it.
Yeah.
So, in eventually, he played like expected moves, and I won because my attack was just too strong for him to handle. And when he, it was a bit funny because I didn't see his screen while we were playing. I mean, I don't want to offend him or anyone. I'm just telling what I've been told by friends who watched the stream. And they said that he was like so happy and jumping around after, seeing that I'm thinking for 20 plus minutes on the opening.
But that's natural. I would be happy if somebody uses their time
it's fine.
on the
it's
opening.
Fine. I just don't want anyone to have some hard feelings.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's possible. I don't want it.
And that's why we're here. I know that if you're talking about games or analysis or reactions in emotional situations on tournaments, if you're doing a streaming or podcast about it and talking on publicly, somebody will eventually get a little bit offended, but I don't think that should limit the analysis basically.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm listing facts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm just saying in advance that if he feels offended, I'm sorry. That's all.
Fair enough.
And
I don't know. I haven't read the rules of conduct yet, so
you can't curse. No nudity, know that. And so when he realized I have a win, before that, after we played those moves and I didn't need to spend more time on thinking because I already knew what I will play. And then he found himself in a disadvantageous position. Then he started thinking. Then he used like 10 something minutes like of his time. And then when he realized I see my win and I will win it, then, I think he got frustrated a bit or whatever the hell happened. Because, normally when you play a game and you lose it or win it, you say thanks and I don't know, good luck in next rounds, bye, or whatever. It is depending on which round you are in and all that. But for sure, etiquette dictates you to say thank you or something.
Yeah.
And he just, quit, like closed the browser. I mean, he was that frustrated.
Yeah.
So what you can learn from this is maybe don't be too confident if you see your opponent is using her time, but stay calm and stay focused. You can learn it from this example. And also that no matter how hard life can be, don't be rude to anyone unnecessarily.
That's a good.
And
good.
One more thing. This was the perfect example of me not having the pressure of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Even if I play 1 minute games and I have a second, 2 seconds, I don't care. I will just do my best to still make it. I can put 4 or 5 moves in 1 second. So if I have 2 seconds, that's at least 6 or 7 moves, at least. But it can go up to 10, 11.
Oh.
If I click very fast and my connection is stable.
Yeah.
2 seconds can be a lot. I mean, when I play 1 minute, a lot of players say it's not enough for them to think. I can understand that. It's fine. For me, it can be, a lot, basically.
A quick question about the stream. Is the video on? Because at some point my OBS shows that the video on the WhatsApp call is freezing. So I'm not.
Yeah, the stream is on. I just see on my stream my sister who came in 20 seconds.
Now it's playing fine, but I think the last 10-15 minutes it's been on and off. At least on my screen, I can see freezing. For example, now it's frozen. It was frozen a little bit, but I guess we'll see what the recording is. That voice has been alright all throughout, so there's no problem there. So Zoli, where do you see your...
Somebody says that the video is fine and I was frozen a while ago for a bit.
Alright.
So yeah, that's what you said, the WhatsApp call froze. For a bit.
I don't know.
But it should be okay because I see myself on the stream moving around.
I don't know what to do. Like my internet connection now is only 100 megs, and I'm on a laptop, on a Wi-Fi. So I don't know how to improve this.
If the connection is doing something funny, then you can't do much.
Yeah.
We can repeat ourselves. That's it.
Yeah. I think if this goes on, and we'll get interesting guests in the future as well, to have a conversation, and I'd like to improve this steadily. So every time try to try to eliminate something, and have seen some very, very professional looking streams and podcasts lately where they have all kinds of scenes and scene transitions, and I'd like to get there eventually if this
till you finish. I will just say that I real quick link to the chat what we have covered so far. Like I will link right now my philosophy on 1 minute games, how to play 1 minute games.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I have to add that people should not misunderstand this. This is about 1 minute Gomoku, not about how to understand Gomoku in general.
Yeah.
So to understand the game and reach a certain level, you have to play longer games. You have to play shorter games. You have to play all kinds of games. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. The one thing that matters is that you actually think about the game. You actually think about the moves. You try to count. You try to understand which move and why. And then it's whatever time control, I think. It's then up to you how fast you can proceed with information.
Yeah.
And all that. And how fast you can use your touchpad or mouse or whatever. It's also a part of it. But what I linked now is cooperation with the unknown, this anonymous Sandra Jones. You maybe know her. she has been around the community for a while. She's using this this name, Sandra Jones. It's not her real name, definitely. She did a couple of good things for the community. She did a couple of bad things. It's fine. But this is one of the good things she did. This is, she basically had the idea of me reaching out to people how I can play 1 minute so well and try to give them some type of basic advices. And in this article, it's like the very basics of how to be successful in 1 minute. But before that, you have to obtain a certain kind of knowledge regarding the game itself. So I don't suggest to any newcomers to start with, trying to be a 1 minute god,
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen, most likely. I mean, if it does, then you are, I know, I almost said the F word, you're a damn genius, but.
Do you think 1 minute or fast-paced Gomoku is the best way to start the game? If you're a youngster.
It depends what you want with the game.
Okay.
It really depends. Like as I have said, I figured out what method perfectly fits me to become better. It is different for individuals.
Yeah.
Like some people learn easily. I mean, more easier with solving tasks. Like there is this Czech site vcpr.cz per en. This was the English link for the Czech site, and there are tasks ranging from very beginner to through intermediate until hard level. There are tasks. There are VCF tasks. There are find the defensive moves, find the only winning move, find Fukumi, find Nori. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, and don't worry, anyone who doesn't understand Fukumi, Nori, VCF, whatever, it's on the site. It's explained there. So don't worry, just check it. I mean, I can link it to the chat real quick. It's for tasks, and it's a pretty good one. I myself have added several tasks there through the last couple of years, and it's good, it's great. I mean, my personal favorite is the VCF tasks because I really like how you can just, play another 4 and another and another, and the end, it's a 15 moves combination of VCF win. It's amazing to me. It's a great puzzle.
I've seen some Sushkov's Renju VCF problems, like maybe 1/3 or 1/4 of the board is full with stones when you start the puzzle, but when you finish the puzzle there's not really basically any free space left. So
we have that in Gomoku as well.
Those are
we have
pretty
a couple
amazing.
of these puzzles.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Like it's
Epifinal
so
is pretty good. I don't know what's about Russians. They're pretty good on making those.
Yeah, actually, one of the longest puzzle I know is also invented by a Russian, Gashan Babaya. He is not, an outstanding player, but his puzzles are great, which is a bit funny because if you have the creativity and skill, you need skill to put these puzzles. You definitely do. And if he has that, then how come he, is not succeeding in his games more than he is? It's interesting. I would be interested in the reasons why he cannot make that.
I was asking Shushkov, not Nakamura. Well, I saw that in Tallinn when Shushkov was making one of the. I think I have the video still. I think I might have posted on the community on Facebook some time ago. But yeah, that
and
was.
you can,
was
just create new puzzles. It's
Yeah.
It's of course limited because it's mathematically limited.
Yeah.
But still, there is there are a lot of options.
I like that approach as well, and that's, you know, maybe the introvert in me, you
And
know,
for some
when
players,
yeah.
like I know a friend of mine, Gabor Genes from Hungary. He prefers training with these tasks and
Yeah.
with playing against the program. For me, that is just a part of my training because I would not want to only play against the program. I mean, I would want to train as many ways as I
Yeah.
feel I need to.
Makes
And
sense.
that's why I say it differs for individuals. It differs.
Makes sense.
So
So
like,
what's next for you
yeah.
personally as a player? So where would you like to see your development? What kind of achievements are we expecting to see from you for you as a player?
Uh, to answer that, let me go back a little bit in time. In 2019, when the next World Championship was held after me winning it, uh, it was for a long time that I cannot go due to financial and whatever reasons in my life. And only like around the last 2 weeks, it was like, okay, I can make it. But my laptop broke before that, and I was just coming back from Belgium. I was working there for half a year, and like it was a pretty complex situation. It was kind of complicated, but I decided to, okay, if I can, then I will try. Even if I don't have my laptop to analyze or whatever prepare, maybe I can make it by pure skill to win it. And it started off very well for me, except for a draw where I played some suboptimal moves against Russian Alexei Lebedev, and I lost half point there. And I could be happy that I won half point there, to be fair, because I should have lost that game. I deserved to lose that game because I was stupid. And my other games, I pretty much dominated in the first couple of days of the final. And then I think it's my specialty to get sick during major live events. Like I was sick in Prague, like really. And then in 2018, we had the Team Gomoku World Championships in Plock, Poland. And there I had a problem with kebab. Like I should not have chosen that very spicy one, to mess up my stomach and have problems focusing. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's okay. I'm surely not the only one that has problems during a 10-day World Championship or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got like sick because it was constantly raining in Tallinn. I'm telling you, it was constantly raining. And I get sick again. I don't know. Since my injury, I am getting sick easily because, I'm still not operated. I mean, in the last few years, I know we are talking about years, but I never had the time actually to get operated. And especially in Hungary, they didn't want to operate me. So, screw them. Yeah. And I get sick. And it's very hard to focus when you're sick. It is. I'm telling you. And I lost a game against my fellow Hungarian, Mark Horvat, who happened to be in the World Championships final with a wild card. Like 2 years before that, Dubsky finished second in the World Championships, and he decided to not participate in this one. But, he had a place for the country with that second place. And Mark took it. So he didn't need to play QT. And I'm not going to say he is not deserving to be in a final because he's actually a very talented player. But I have never lost a game against him, I played a scheme against him that I stole from Gallo, like Oleg Buletovsky, I stole that scheme from him because he played it against me one round before that or 2 rounds before that. So I definitely didn't know theory. I mentioned I didn't have a laptop to analyze. I bluffed with the opening. I bluffed because I knew he would not think that I'd bluff and would play swap 2. And even if he thinks I bluff, he would not dare to choose against me. And he put a swap 2 by accident. He put the exact same swap 2 that was being played in that tournament a couple of times already to that opening. I think it was the same swap 2 I played, or, So I just chose the same color I won against Gallo with. I took white. I played the exact same move I won the previous game with. And then he took his time and he played a very interesting next move, which is giving me a hard win. I mean, he didn't see that I have a win. He thought that move is just owning me. But actually, I was pretty sure it's a white win position. But I was very wrong when I assumed it should be an easy one. And it was actually a hard one. And I rushed, because I assumed I didn't have the patience, like my typical mistake, to think it over. And I found myself in a position where I could choose that I defend and be okay with the draw, or I force the attack even though I know he has defense, and maybe hope he blunders. And I was, too stubborn, I would say, and chose the second option and kept attacking with a dead end. And eventually I was so much, surrounded. Like, I just wanted to give up the game because, like, what do you move on the board when he has 5 different wins? And it was terrible. It was very bad, but also very good for him, He was playing not too good in the final, and this gave him a huge load of confidence. And it was still pretty much only one lost game and lost half point in the second round. So I could still be world champion. But it stressed me out like so much that I lost a game like that. And in the next couple of rounds, I think I lost a game against Ilya Muratov from Russia. I played a very, unbalanced swap 2 because, I don't know, my strategy was incorrect because I should have known that he is more of a passively attacking player that first kills all your chances and then, tries to attack himself. And I was hoping he tries to attack early on and I can defend and gain advantage at a later point. But based on his style, I should have known that he will just block me totally first and then just finish me off, which he did, and he did it well. And then it was already lost 2.5 points. It's stressful. It was for me. And then I think I won a game. And then against Michal Zukovsky, I made another huge mistake in my game and I lost again. And it was like, okay, I'm not interested in it anymore. I suck. I keep losing. How on earth? I never lost a single game against these players in my life, whether it's live tournament or online tournament. I mean, I don't want to degrade them. I don't. Just, it feels strange when you keep defeating someone over and over and over, and then they own you. Then you feel like, you lost your skill or whatever. It felt like that. I mean, I didn't feel like they were like superior to me. I felt like I am playing my game very bad and not playing how I should. I mean, that was terrible feeling. And then I could only do some cosmetics, Like I defeated Martes, who was, I think, already world champion by that point. I defeated him like in a very convincing manner. Like he had no chance from the beginning in that game, I would say. And then I played against Estonian Martin Höbemagi, and he put a debut, which I have various swap tools for. And I was just, feeling like I'm lost in the options. What should I do? Should I play the safer one? Should I risk? I mean, I couldn't decide which strategical move I should do. And I think that was also a mistake that I chose to play the more balanced one, because this match was for me to be a medalist. For anyone that does not know me, I have to say, I either take gold in a tournament or I'm not interested. So silver medal is worth nothing for me. I apologize to anyone that has ever won a silver, bronze, whatever, and they are proud of it. I'm not. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a maximalist.
So which tournaments you haven't won that you want to win?
The next World Championship. I want to, regain my title after not being able to defend it.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then after I managed to regain my title, I want to defend it over and over and over again. And at the same time, I would like, there is one major tournament that I have never won. It's the Team Gomoku World Championship. I played it once in 2018. We finished second with the Hungarian team. I was bad in that tournament, I would say. Not as good as I should have been. I mean, I lost 2 games, and that's too many. Losing 2 games out of, I don't know, 9 is a high amount of lost games.
Yeah.
For me. That's just, way below my standards. My perspective is the minimum I have to score in percentage is 100%. I can't drop half point. It is acceptable to lose half point when my opponent is playing outstandingly well, and I just literally can't defeat him because he is not making a mistake.
Yeah.
And we are playing from a, balanced debut, a balanced opening. Then it's fine. I'm not mad. If I played strong moves and he also played strong moves and it ended as a draw, it's fine. I'm not mad. That's cool. Also cool for the game because it means the game is improving. People are making less mistakes. In that 2019 World Championship, the number of mistakes in the games, overall, not just mine, but everyone else's, was insane huge. Like, from my side, I'm ashamed of that performance I gave there. But I think in overall, the quality was not as high as it should have been.
Interesting.
I feel like.
Interesting.
So that's not like a terrible thing, because there is always room for improvement.
Yeah.
And I just want to see that in the World Championship final, there will be a few mistakes, maybe more draws, but not like draws that they are only defending, but just both of the players are playing strong moves, and they fail to outplay the other one because the other one is playing also very well. So that's what I want to see. And answering your question explicitly, I want to win the World Championships individually and keep defending my title. Besides, I want to win the Team World Championships with Hungary being the captain of the Hungarian team.
Yeah. It's a strong team. Very strong.
In 2017, I said that Gergő won the Meijin Championship. 1 year later, I won the qualificational tournament for the Majin. I scored 6.5 out of 7. I had a draw with Dubsky in a very nice game. We just didn't seem to be able to outplay each other, and it ended as a draw. And I finished first because he lost 2 more games, I think. And I was the challenger for the Majin title. And in the final, it started off very well. I won the first game, then had huge advantage in the second one. I mean, sure, win from the beginning through I don't know how many moves, but I screwed it and it was a draw. And then I just, lost a few games. And then another draw, maybe. And in the end, I think I lost again. And then it was over and Gergő defended his title. And I was not mad about that because I had a lot going on, especially with university. It was just, I didn't feel like it was the right time for me. But still, it's still bad because I should have won it. I mean, after all, I decided I played the games. If I was anyways there, why couldn't I focus more? It's like that. But last year in 19, I won the qualifications again. That time I had 1 lost game against Kristóf Ménesi and won all the other ones, defeating Dubsky back-to-back. And everyone else, like Mark Horváth was there, Zoltán Sonkoly was there. I think there was only 5 of us, maybe. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
And then in the final, I defeated Gergő by the score of 4-0, which was, winning 4-0 in a Majin final feels very good, man. And that also enabled me. I was especially motivated, to win, to 0 him. Not because I don't like him. He's a very good friend of mine, and he helped me a lot in my life, not just in Gomoku, And what I want to say is I wanted to defeat him 4-0. First, because that would mean I'm Hungarian Majin. Second, because I calculated how many rating I can get if I win 4-0. And I checked the world rank list. If I win 4-0, I become world rank list number 1. And I made it somehow, I was playing not bad in the final. I mean, in the first game, he had advantage. I defended. Probably he could have defeated me, but it was tough. And in all the other games, I think I did pretty well. Especially that I still didn't have my laptop to prepare. It was just pure skill. And yeah, I became world number 1 on the rank list from the active players. And that's it. So I want to defend my Majin title. I want to get my World Championship title back and defend it. And win Team Gomoku World Cup, World Championship and defend it. Like,
Yes.
keep constantly defending every title I obtain.
Yeah. We
That's my goal.
we discussed yesterday about you as a player, but we also discussed of you as an organizer, and I think it would be informative if you would like to say a couple of words as you see Gomoku, the future of Gomoku in Central Europe globally, and perhaps like what kind of.
If I start talking about that, then people
It's another
will
hour.
be like,
It's all right. I've got 1 hour. We can cut the rest. The playing on Kurnik or play okay. We can cut those. But I think if there's something that you think interesting when it comes to new developments, new technology, new tournament formats.
I mean, I have another suggestion, if you may.
Yep.
I would suggest, because of my injury, it's very hard for me to sit like this.
Yeah.
So, and it's been 2 hours.
It's been. Yeah.
I would like to suggest that we have another few minutes break, and then
sure.
we can stream a couple of games from Play OK.
Okay.
And the next time we have this podcast and you invite me as a guest or whatever, then
sure,
we can
absolutely.
discuss the future of Gomoku and maybe just, say that today's stream was about my career so far or whatever.
It's good, and I think you're a great character, a great ambassador for Gomoku. I'm saying this in all openness and honesty, and I think it's been pleasure. The sessions today and yesterday we did. For those who didn't hear, we did a long session yesterday, and I think this format is good because it's not like boom 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 15 seconds everything is solved, but you can have a conversation, you can have analysis, and I think for these games Gomoku and Renju, I think the characters, the personalities such as yourself and a few others I mentioned on the we break there, I think there is a need to have the stories out there because they are not out there, and I don't think the new I think the new generations, they don't necessarily, the TikTok generations, they don't necessarily go and read articles dated 15 years back, but
yeah, no offense, I'm sometimes surprised when they can read.
Yeah. So I think, and I've been listening these long form podcasts on YouTube, and I didn't think 2 years ago that I would have attention span for 2, 3, even 4 hours. For like,
frank.
And it's. I think it's good.
Then I would suggest then that we divide it into topics, and today's topic was about me as a person. The player. And the next time we talk, we can discuss previous major events or whatever. We can analyze games, whatever. Just I'm giving ideas.
And if you do me a favor, you could maybe teach me a little bit of the basics of Gomoku and contemporary Gomoku. What to think about the corner openings and how
Definitely.
I'm open to what kind of strategies can I do if I can smell that this is a trickster? How do I approach putting the swap to?
Sure. We can do that also next time. So next time we can do another couple of hours session with this podcast.
Let's do that. I think the setting up the Play OK on this, I'm very unsure that I could actually pull it off now. It took me 5 minutes to get the windows, all the video capture or the.
Oh, let me tell you how to do it. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Just open it, and then if it is a separate window from the WhatsApp call, it should be a separate window. Then you just pick that window to capture.
We can use it as a practice run. I'm not sure. I'm sure
I will for sure turn off my camera now. And mute myself, and I will let you know when I'm back. We can play a couple of games. And maybe people can see how I play actually, like 1 minute games or so. And if they are even interested more, they can just go to YouTube. There are videos of my matches and other players' matches from the previous World Cups, and they can just see them, like how I played in 2017, and maybe make a comparison how I play now or whatever. It's very interesting to me, maybe to them as well.
Excellent. So let's have a couple of minutes break. I think I'll log into Play OK. I'm Jussi there. And
I know. I will use as Zoli, I think.
Excellent. I'll
okay.
Catch
let you know.
Yeah. So to answer Ivo your question, it's been haunting me on the stream chat over the last 30 minutes or so. So Japanese are pretty darn good on the puzzles, of course. I think the case that I said I had the video on Shushkov making the big VCF puzzle. I think it was Yamaguchi who was there with him. So my memory is not what it used to be either. So yeah, Japanese are pretty good. I don't think I have had pleasure to meet Nakamura before in person. I haven't visited Japan since '95, and I wasn't playing Renju back in '95, so I don't think he travels that much abroad anymore. So I don't know if there's anybody else in the chat anymore or in the stream. Everybody else logged off already. Say hello if you're there. No. And I wasn't prepared to play against you, mate, today, so I think I had a really bad feeling starting that. I thought you said you wanted to show some moves, and I thought maybe some analysis, but you know, playing against you when you're the best, basically best in the world for this, then yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
just had another one.
it's like me picking up a stranger on the street and say, let's play some pool. You know, I'm gonna crush them. they don't have a chance, like no chance, no chance, not whatsoever. Basic, just random people. But that's what I consider myself as in Gomoku 1 minute player, you know. But I think if I needed to win, if I needed to get good in 1 minute Gomoku, I think I could do that in 2 months.
2 months?
Like playing every day, playing 100 games every day, analyzing what I play, analyzing how I lost, why I lost. In 2 months I would be decent 1 minute Gomoku player, I think. I might be wrong, but that's what I think. But I don't see a reason why I should do it, because particularly I don't like, it's not my format necessarily.
Well, you know, feel free to read the article I've written, and yeah. Sandra, like, she like what is that word? I forgot. Can't recall. When you supervise a writing, a proofread, she proofread it.
Yeah.
So like that article would be then damn useful to you if you want to become good at 1 minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would you only become good at 1 minute when you can win world championships, you know? then why don't you become good at every single time control?
Yeah, I guess so. If those are, if that option is on the table, then I suppose, you know, you should be a broad player, I suppose, if you can. And yeah.
I don't like my position. Oh, okay. Like that, it's okay. If he blunders, it's always okay. Well, it's a useful practice for him as well. He's playing this year in the World Cup as well, and he's one of the favorites for a medal. I mean, I always count if I play this tournament, like, the first place is sold, but he can still be second, you know. That sounds a bit like harsh, or I don't know, but it feels like that.
What kind of advice would you give to a Renju player that happens to be in a tournament and wants to try out modern Gomoku, swap to Gomoku? Well, how to approach, what to do?
Oh well, I would definitely suggest that he plays like not Renju openings for the starters. Oh, by the way, this is again my win position. And secondly, I think he should play like like Epifanov does. I mean, Epifanov is a Ranju player, right?
Yeah.
But he plays Gomoku pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
he played in the Team Gomoku World Championship in the second Russian team. I think he was in the second. Yeah. Russia B. And he did pretty well. It was decent. And he basically plays like 50-50 corners and then tries to apply the same method, I would believe, that I applied when I played Renju. You are not familiar with the openings? Fine, you don't need to. You don't need to. All you need is your logical skills. You need to use your brain. Like, that's how I won gold medal in my group in the Renju Youth Cup. I only counted. Like, if you have the logical skills, you can count and all that. It's fine. Just make sure that if you are to put an opening, it's a balanced one.
Yeah.
Like a balanced corner opening or something.
Would you recommend using the swap 2?
Can you repeat that?
Would you recommend the swap 2? Like, if somebody opens me a central position, then I would like to put the swap 2 because...
Oh, do I suggest that you put swap 2?
Yeah.
Definitely, if you face like an unfamiliar opening, then you have to take your time, not rush and try to balance it.
Any tips how to approach putting the 2 stones?
If you aim on balancing, oh shit, I just lost the game. Damn. Okay, I resign. You lost on time. Nice.
That's cheeky. That is cheeky. That is very cheeky. I'm sure
it's his connection. He is
yeah.
Clearly.
I'm sure he accepted that.
Typing the dots. He has lags. Yeah. It's fine. He had this win. I missed that line. He had this win.
But I will be watching this as a recording anyways. I hope he makes it this far. It's 3 hours for Saints.
Yeah, we are live for 3 hours, man.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'm not saying one last question, but what kind of streams would you like to see? Like, if I keep this on and I get some interesting people, mostly they'll probably be Renju.
Haven't even answered your previous question. I mean, first I will answer the previous question on how to put the 2 stones.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want with it. Do you want to balance the position? Then you have to calculate and try to find the balance. Yeah. If you want to sharpen it, then you should only do it if you prior to the match prepare the swap 2.
Okay.
Unless you are like god level, you don't want to sharpen the position with swap 2 because it's very easy to make a counting mistake if you play like super sharp 5-stone composition.
Yeah.
Without any kind of preparation. I mean, I really like to do that, but it makes you vulnerable.
Yeah. I like to try to aim somewhere in between. Like, not something totally irrelevant and not super sharp either. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
I would say my piece of advice here is kind of going back to where I started like hours ago, I think. You have to know your opponent. You have to evaluate it. And if you know, for example, that your opponent rather likes to be black. I mean, some players are like that. They prefer black color no matter what. It's just statistically visible that they tend to choose black a lot more, regardless of the actual position. I mean, that's how I defeated Denis Osipov in the World Championship in 2017. I knew he almost always chooses black, so I put a little white advantage swap to. He almost instantly chose black and then just, lost. And in like 20-something moves, he lost. Like, that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, he made a mistake, but still, I had all the advantage.
That's a good tip.
So you have to know your opponent when you put a swap to.
Yeah. There are some people who certainly want to play, even in Renju, they like to play white. They only play white or they play black. Then if you know that, then you can...
I would say that's a very, very, how to say, in Gomoku at least, I don't know about Renju, but probably in Renju as well. It's dumb. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's dumb. Yeah. You have to evaluate the position and make the proper choice,
Yeah.
So it's dumb to just preliminarily just decide I will be black all the time.
Yeah.
Because what I put black A101 and the white one is H8. So what? Then you still choose black? Like, There are some. It is funny because
those are bar down players anyway. So Q
so my piece of advice here regarding swap 2 is if you want to be seriously good at it, then you have to also consider this kind of factors like your opponent, his style, whatever.
Yeah.
And not bad with it, then you should just practice, keep practicing, and see what kind of 5-stone compositions are safe to play. And then you will feel it. I mean, after a while, you should be able to instinctively play, not instantly losing swap 2s. I mean, Ushek, Lucas Meixner, he is pretty good at instinctively playing very good swap 2s. He's very good at that. I know some players who are, even if they are thinking for a long time, they just can't seem to put like good swap 2s. I don't know why. Even like considerably stronger players struggle sometimes with the swap 2. I mean, it can be hard, definitely. I have played some bad swap 2s myself. But usually all you have to do is think about a 5-stone composition that is a balanced one. And all you have to do, you have 3 moves already on the board, wherever they are, really. And you just have to imagine in your mind a 5-stone composition that would be balanced. And by imagine, I of course mean to prove it by counting.
Yeah.
Checking for possible 6th moves and continuations. But I don't like to play 50-50 swap 2s. I don't like to, I will be honest. Because that's not fitting my type of strategy that I use when I play. I always like to give a little bit of advantage to one of the colors. Because I don't like to play boring and slow games like that are just, none of the colors have a chance to really go attacking. I either take it as, okay, if he chooses the advantageous color, he goes attacking. I will try to defend, maybe, get some extra stones. And if I manage to defend, I will use my extra stones for my win. But if he gives me the advantage, I will just try to play very strong attacking, offensive moves that he can't find a defense to. So that's my philosophy on my personal games.
Makes sense. The Bana is asking on the Kurnik chat.
Yeah, I just read it. So basically, Bana's question, I will read it. You said you had a routine in one Gomoku. Can you explain what it is and how it changed in the recent time as you seem to prefer to attack more? Okay, so for this, I would first explain why he used this marker on the word routine. It is because in the English language, routine like daily routine or whatever is not like the exact same meaning as we use it in Hungary. Like
Yeah.
routine is a kind of experience, like when you are just mechanically doing that, like you get used to doing it
Yeah.
and just naturally do it.
Right.
So, and he asks me how. He said, "Routine can explain what it isn't how it changed your reason." Okay, I mean it didn't change. Like I didn't change. I mean I still know how to play the game. I only attack more because I started to enjoy attacking a lot more, and because how to say, I usually played non-rated games recently. Like okay, they could be rated, but not like a championship game, you know. And I've realized that most of the players are weaker when they have to defend. Like attacking, okay, if you are on the attack, there is less chances that you lose. But if you are defending, there is more.
Mm.
So that's a kind of philosophy. And also, if uh, if I play like these unranked games, like not a championship match, then I want to enjoy it. So I don't want to play like easy, like balanced ones. I want to keep it sharp for more interesting, for more challenge. So I tend to give advantage to my opponents to see what they can do with it. Also try to teach them a bit to attack, even if I don't tell them that I'm doing that.
Mm.
So basically, that's my answer to the question. It's just for my own entertainment, really. Okay, next question. He says, how many players really understand Gomoku and how many just play count well? I mean, how do I know that? I don't see in their brains. I'm definitely pretty sure that I'm one of the players that understand the game. Gargo is pretty sure one of the players that understand the game. And about just everyone else, I don't get to spend a lot of time with it. Like, I know Ushek understands the game really well, but he lacks like this counting part. Like he mostly lacks the mental part of the game because you have to be mentally strong to not break. I mean, not collapse under pressure. Whether it's time pressure or just pressure of a tournament. That I mean, you are in a bad position or whatever, but you still need to find the inner strength to keep fighting for the game.
Why are Hungarians so good? Do they understand something more than other nations? Cheeky.
I
Very cheeky.
I obviously don't know the answer to that. I think it just happened like that. I mean, how to answer that?
Do you
Hungarians
have
are
more
pretty
new
smart.
players coming in, or is it just the old
I mean,
faces?
the Hungarian. I would say that this should be a little genetic, or how to say, because throughout the history there have been a lot of inventors from Hungary.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they migrated to the USA or whatever, and they made like. Do you know what biro is? Like the pen, biro.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's called biro?
No.
Because Hungarian biro László, I think it was László, but his family name was Biro, and he got the name after that because he invented it. And Hungarians throughout the history invented shit tons of inventions, And I think that's it's in our genes. Like some Hungarian players that not players but people tend to be very smart in a way. I'm not saying other nations are stupid. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that it's like I definitely know. Like Denis Osipov, he was from Russia. He surely understood the game, I think. And I mean, I hope Bano understands the game as well. I mean, He should. He's top player. He
Well,
used to be top player.
Hungarian language sounds really, really smart.
Hungarian language
It
is
sounds like
people tend to say that it's second hardest after Chinese to learn.
Nah, it's like Finnish. It sounds like Finnish. For Finnish people, you know, when we hear Hungarian, it sounds like, yeah, that's Finnish, but it's like gibberish but it sounds like Finnish. So it's the same language tree, basically.
Yeah, like these etymologists.
Yeah.
Think they have, like, some of them. I mean, there are new theories. I'm not really interested in those. I mean, what does it matter for me?
Yeah.
But they tend to think that it originates from the same group of languages.
Yes.
Like Finnish
Estonian.
and Hungarian.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Hungarians as a nation understand more than other nations.
That's a good tip there. So ask questions
There have been like comments during the stream, and we answered all of the comments. So
yeah,
really, if I am on stream, I can't like declare that others will do the same. But if I'm a guest on a stream, I'm happy to answer any kind of questions. You know.
I think today I had my hands full on just keeping it together and trying to figure out how to pull it through. But I think, you know, you were, as a guest, you were amazing, just 100% supportive, and I think the first time anything it's tough, and you know, I'm pretty literate, IT literate, so I'm generally speaking pretty okay with technology and software and whatnot, but it's just it's not easy the first time to do anything like this.
For sure.
But I think
and like giving some additional info to Bano's question, I think generally as a nation to be whatever, I think it's always individually. I mean, if as a nation, okay, we have a couple of people that reached far in Gomoku, or let it be whatever, you know, they can help their compatriots, but I am willing to help anyone, and I'm sure other players are also willing. Maybe not everyone, but some are you know, willing to help people get better and share their experiences. So yeah, that's my answer on that. If you don't understand something about the game, if you want me to explain something, feel free to ask me. And yeah, don't be ashamed to ask, because not everyone can, like, even mathematics, you may not figure out one thing on your own, but they teach you, and then you figure out another thing on your own. It's like that. So yeah, anyone has like any more questions? I feel like I'm pretty dehydrated from talking so long. I will just you know, wait if there is like more questions or something, and if there isn't, then thanks for having me. You know,
absolutely, man. 3 hours.
I want to ask, I have a match in less than 2 hours. I mean, my opponent is not a high-ranked player or whatever, but I still want to win each and every game. So
yeah, man, 3 hours 20 minutes. A great session, great conversations, great tips, great analysis. Big thanks.
I
we'll do
for the next ones. Even if not I'm the guest, I will surely watch, because this is truly interesting.
So now we have few guests confirmed that they want to do this. Let's hope that this stream today didn't freak them out. I'm pretty sure Samuli holds on his part next Friday. So we'll have some offline games analysis from Samuli, and then take it from there. I think Epifanov will also be showing about something about Renju teaching, so some guidance on how he teaches Renju in Russia and what kind of things. I think
I'm definitely interested in all these. Like, it must be a great story behind someone reaching world championships or whatever, or, you know, just reaching high, establishing a certain level where you teach other players to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it bad, you won't have anyone to teach. So you must do it at a certain level to, you know, to an extent good. So I'm really interested in looking forward to this kind of streams, and
yeah,
anytime,
we'll see where it takes us. Zoli, we'll see where it takes us, right? So I don't know what kind of format this will end up in 2 months or 6 months or 2 years. I don't know, but we'll see if there is interest. If people find this useful, we'll keep it doing. We'll improve it and see how it is. And
definitely,
I'm looking forward to having you as a guest, anyways. And when you are doing some of your streams, I'll be sure to tuning in. Everybody, go and subscribe Zoli's Twitch right away, and good luck for your games.
I commented on the stream with my stream channel, so they should be able to, you know, check it with a one click. I mean, there is no content there recently because of my personal life issues, but
yeah, nice, good stuff. Let me start. I think tomorrow I'll post by tomorrow night. I'll post the copy on YouTube. So I need to figure out what was the software you recommended. I forgot to type it in.
Sony Vegas Pro.
Sony Vegas Pro.
It's a pretty good pro.
You think
you can get the free version is, or you can pay for it. It's up to you.
All right. I think I'll try with the free one and upgrade it as we go. All right. Thank you, man. Good luck for tonight's game, and catch you later.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. See you.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thanks everybody for watching.
Peace.